What if I told you that one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses has quietly been living through battles you'd never imagine? Not just the illness that ended her career, but scars left decades earlier, secrets she's only now ready to share. This is the untold story of Christina Applegate. Christina wasn't just born into Hollywood, she was practically raised on stage lights. Her dad was a record producer, her mom an actress and singer. Before most babies even say, "Mama," Christina was on television. At just 3 months old, she appeared on Days of Our Lives with her mom. At 5 months, a baby bottle commercial. By the time she was in kindergarten, she had already joined the Screen Actors Guild. For Christina, growing up meant stage directions instead of playground games. But here's the part you don't see on magazine covers. When she was 8, a boy in her neighborhood called her fat. One word, but it stuck like glue. From then on, food became the enemy. At 15, just as she was cast as Kelly Bundy on Married with Children, her mom signed her up for Weight Watchers. Christina started eating just 5 almonds a day, literally 5. If she slipped and ate one more, she'd cry and refuse to leave the house. On the outside, she was TV's funniest blonde. On the inside, she was starving herself. She didn't reveal this publicly until 2024, decades later. Then came the role that changed everything, Kelly Bundy. Christina was only 15 when she stepped into the shoes of Fox's rebellious, hilarious sitcom Daughter. The show ran for 11 seasons, helping Fox grow into a television powerhouse. Fans loved Kelly's dumb blonde one-liners, what they called Kellyisms. But while the world laughed, Christina was quietly breaking. She wanted her bones to show on camera. That pressure to be thin haunted her for decades. Her first big movie role, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, didn't exactly launch her into stardom. It flopped at the box office, and Christina admitted she didn't even want to do it. She even called herself a freaking asshat for how she behaved on set. But years later, it became a cult classic on VHS and cable. Audiences connected with her in a way critics didn't. That was Christina's pattern. She might not always win critics, but she always won people. By the late 1992, Christina wanted to prove she wasn't just Kelly Bundy. She took edgier roles in The Big Hit and Mafia, slowly reshaping her image. Then, in 2002, she starred with Cameron Diaz in The Sweetest Thing. Critics rolled their eyes, but audiences loved it. Suddenly, Christina was a romantic lead. Then came Anchorman in 2004, where she went toe-to-toe with Will Ferrell in a movie built almost entirely on improvisation. Her sharp timing made Veronica Corningstone iconic. Christina had broken free, but her dream wasn't just Hollywood, it was Broadway. In 2005, she starred in the revival of Sweet Charity. The role earned her a Tony nomination, but it also broke her body. During a performance in Chicago, she fractured a bone in her foot. She pushed through in medical boots, dancing until her body gave out. That injury ended her Broadway dancing dreams forever. She admitted years later she could never dance again. The Tony nomination was bittersweet, a victory wrapped in loss. Her personal life wasn't easy either. She married actor Jonathan Shake in 2001, but by 2005, it was over. Soon after, her ex-boyfriend Lee Grievous died from a heroin overdose at just 26. Christina was devastated. Then, in 2008, she faced something even scarier: breast cancer. She was only 36. Tests revealed she carried the BRCA1 gene mutation, which gave her an 87% chance of breast cancer. She didn't hesitate. She had both breasts removed. Just like that. She wanted peace of mind, even if the world was shocked. She turned her pain into purpose, starting Right Action for Women, a foundation helping women at high risk afford screenings. Through it all, she kept reinventing herself. She starred in Jessie, got an Emmy for playing Rachel's sister on Friends, and even produced Samantha Who, a show about a woman rebuilding her identity after memory loss. A storyline that eerily mirrored Christina's real struggles. But then came the fight she couldn't escape. In 2021, while filming Dead to Me, Christina was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Suddenly, everyday things, walking, holding a phone, even getting out of bed, became battles. She gained weight, started using a cane, and described her life as living in hell. She confessed on her podcast, "I don't enjoy living." Headlines claimed she was on suicide watch, but she clarified she wasn't. She was just being honest about her pain. Christina didn't sugarcoat it. She told fans about waking up in diapers after catching a stomach virus. She admitted she could barely watch herself on the final season of Dead to Me because of how much her body had changed. At the SAG Awards, she called it her last show. Acting on camera was no longer possible, but Christina isn't giving up entirely. She's shifted to voiceover work to support her daughter, and even considered reprising Kelly Bundy in an animated Married with Children. Sadly, in 2025, that project was cancelled. Now, at 52, Christina is still fighting, but on her terms. She's become a voice for people with MS and disabilities, demanding accommodations in Hollywood. And in 2026, she'll release her memoir, You with the Sad Eyes. She says it won't be written for drama's sake, it'll just be honest. The abuse, the struggles with food, the pain she carried in silence for decades. For the first time, the world will hear her whole story. So, who is Christina Applegate? She's not just Kelly Bundy, not just Veronica Corningstone, not just an actress with awards and roles behind her. She's a survivor of childhood pressure, eating disorders, cancer, heartbreak, and now a disease that's tried to take everything. And yet, she's still here, still speaking, still fighting. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories of the stars you thought you knew. And remember, sometimes the brightest smiles hide the deepest battles.